potpourri. Did you hear that the orange Nazi is considering, according to people who have contact with the bastard, he's considering skipping the GOP primary debates? Of course he is. It's funny, he said that, among other things, when he was discussing with this with friends or whatever, he said that Trump has said he wants to enjoy this summer, quote, because it's the last free summer he'll have for a while, end quote. That last part there is anticipating a win for the presidency in 2024. Actually, let's hope it's prison, this arrogant prick. But anyway, according to three sources who have spoken with Trump about his plans and reported by CNN, Trump, yes, is discussing how he's going to skip one to all of the presidential primary debates. And his advisors are getting inside his head and telling him, look, you got such a commanding lead in the polls. Why run the risk of getting on the stage with a bunch of losers and lessening your lead? One Trump advisor said, quote, why would we debate? That would be stupid to go out there with that kind of lead, end quote. No, it would be stupid to go out and debate because your boy is a goddamn Nazi criminal. He is a son of a bitch. And regardless of the Christian fascism of the other candidates, they would certainly bring that up during the so-called debates, which are not debates. I don't know what they are. Now, in August, the Fox Sewer, if it's still a viable corporation, will be the host of the first Christian fascist debate in Milwaukee. And the second debate will take place at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in, of course, Simi Valley, California. You remember Simi Valley? That's where the cops accused of beating Rodney, what was his last name? You know what I'm talking about, the infamous videotape. And the cops were found not guilty, and Los Angeles burned. You remember that? Rodney King. And on about the third day of the riots that killed a whole bunch of people, cost billions of dollars of damages, Rodney King went on television with his battered face and said, can't we all just get along? Which was, one, in my opinion, one of the most profound statements. Absolute clarity in the simplicity of that statement. Can't we all just get along? Do you remember that? The LA riots? When was that, 95, 94, 95? Anyway, the second debate will take place in Simi Valley, California. And the orange Nazi, apparently he has his cat-pissed son poll Christian fascist lawmakers and advisors and allies over whether or not they believe he needs to participate in these debates. Okay, you fucking believe this guy. Right. Yeah, you don't have to participate. Il Duce. You don't, you know. Also, according to people who know, the orange Nazi has told a number of folks that he does not want to debate at the Reagan Library. And he said, because I've never been invited to speak there. And the chairman of the board of trustees of the Reagan Library is Fred Ryan, and Ryan is the CEO of the Washington Post. Oh, God. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Now, some of these scum that cluster around the orange Nazi like flies around a dung heap said that anything could happen between now and August, and it was too early to make a complete decision either way. That's right. That's right. There is the possibility, as remote as it may seem right now, that Trump won't be among us in August. He might be in home detention. And a member of the Republican National Committee, which is this collection of Christian fascists that are just vile. Oh, my God, the Republican National Committee. I talked about them last week. Do you remember? Anyway, a member of the RNC kind of guffawed at the idea that Trump would not participate in the debates. This creep bastard said, so he's going to let Ron DeSantis and Mike Pence get up there and get all the attention? Huh? Is he? Jesus. No, it was just recently that the Republican National Committee chairwoman, you remember her, Ronna McDaniel, the niece of, what's his name, Mitt Romney, and a full-blown female Christian fascist. Although, you know, she's a Mormon, but I guess they're Christians. I don't know what the hell they are. But when she announced the first two debates, the orange Nazi began to suggest publicly that I might not participate in them because my lead in the early polls, and I would just have to face questions from the hostile news networks. Hostile news networks. Yeah, I bet they would ask you some questions, Orange Vomit, that you would consider hostile. For sure. And the Orange Nazi, in one of his toy social media posts, said that the Republican National Committee didn't get, his word, approval from him or his campaign before they announced the debates. So Ronna McDaniel was kind of slapped on her ass cheeks, I guess, by Trump. Well, you didn't ask me my permission. Even though presidential candidates don't have that kind of control over the format or the timing of these primary debates. But, you know, this is Donald Jesus Trump. He is the sole proprietor of what used to be the Republican Party and is now a walking, falling apart, rotting corpse called the Christian Fascist Party. So you're goddamn right. He needs to be consulted. Come on, Ronna, get in the game. You know how this works. You're a Mormon. You know where the power is. Top down, baby. No debate. A Republican advisor who is connected to the RNC said that Trump's campaign was fully briefed on the timing, the location, and other specifics before they announced the primary debates and where they would be held and so on and so forth. I guess that is one of the little squeaky members of the RNC protesting. Well, we did tell him. We did. Shut up. Get back in your hole. Okay. And Ronna McDaniel said that she had told Trump personally that the debates would be in August. Well, okay, Ronna, but as long as you are going to have sex with this demon, you are going to wind up with scars all over your body and burn marks. So just shut up and keep, doing what you're doing, kiddo. But don't get your bloomers in a wad when Trump steps out and says, they didn't consult me, even though you did. Two Trump sources familiar with the conversations between Trump's campaign and the Republican National Committee said that the Orange Vomits team and Jesus Trump himself had made it clear to the RNC that no, I will not attend a debate before Labor Day. And that's when the source said that Trump has said he wants to enjoy his summer because, quote, It's the last summer he'll have, the last free summer he'll have for a while, end quote. That's a direct quote. And, like I said, my hope is that that turns out to be absolutely factually correct, that it is the last free summer that this filthy pig enjoys for the rest of his miserable, useless life. Oh, whoa, God, I hate talking about 6 years. 6 years. Talking about this walking tower of fascist vomit. It's just, oh well. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. The Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.